Welcome to Puvanur RTP Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RTP Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. After seeing all the special placements topic in several thalas, today I am going to introduce a special topic called RTP concepts. To start with, I will start with Aadhi Thalam. Before I get into the class, I will start this class with a Thirukkural. அடிவதும் ஆவதும் ஆகி வழிபயக்கும் ஊதியமும் சூழ்ந்து செயல். What is the meaning of it? ஒரு செயலை தொடங்குவதற்கு முன் அச்செயலை செய்தால் வரும் நன்மை தீமைகளையும் செய்து முடித்த பின் வரும் பயன்களையும் எண்ணி பார்க்க வேண்டும். Before you start any work, you should have a forethought of what will be the good things, what will be the bad things, will be the outcome of that doing that specific act. That's very, very important. Only then you should enter into that particular job. That's what Thurulur says with a forethought. It's important. People just like that jump into job and then they get into doing a lot of rework without any planning, and then sometimes it becomes an utter failure. So it's important this planning and thinking about it, thinking about the outcome, and then if you have to visualize what would be the effect of doing a specific thing. So that's important. That's what Thurulur mentions in this Thirukkural. We all should act accordingly. With this good thought, I'm entering into the class. We just concluded the special placements topic in level 5. Hope all of you have understood the concepts clearly. We will have reviews and we'll have intermittent workshops going forward in the coming months. We will see whatever the ideas you have come out with, we will see how, whatever the best way I can embellish those things, which can be used and put into practice and which can also be used in actual concepts. Today I am going to start off with a topic called RTP. RTP is nothing but Ragam, Thalam, Pallavi, the most complicated segment in a concert. Any person who is singing an RTP is deemed as a Vidwan because that's a special aspect by itself. The reason being, he has to show his expertise of his musicianship by clearly depicting the raga in a multitude of dimensions. And also there is a concept called Thalam, which has got so much of varieties. You might have to master that aspect of it. And then the concentrated effort of depicting the particular phrase in different variations and in different speeds. In first speed, second speed, third speed, anulobam, pratilobam, tisram, and mixture of all these things, and with different colors of ragas while depicting the same pallavi. So many aspects will be revealed when a Vidwan handles an RTP. But to get into all these, they should understand the basics. So the first topic I'm going to handle as part of an introductory class will be for Aadhi Thalam, Kaladam, Arayadam and Mukaladam. I will give you the concept, I will give you some samples, and I want you to work on all these multiple speeds. As I told you, Pallavi is nothing but Palalaya Vinyasam. Pala is variety, layam is the laya aspect, vinyasam is the variation. So that's what we're going to do as part of a Pallavi. The concept of Pallavi by itself has got three parts. The three parts are Purvangam, Karvai, Uttarangam. The meaning is Purvangam is nothing but in English is the first half. Uttarangam is the last part, the later half. The Karvai is a connector, is a junction point of connecting these two aspects of the Pallavi. So the first part communicates something and in a dialogue mode, and there is a Karvai. The second part elaborates the characteristics of the lead given in the Purvanga. Typically, it's like that. It's the greatness of Krishna, or the greatness of Lord Muruga, or Shiva, or Ambal, or any goddess, or any common thing, patriotic theme it can be. So the theme can be different, and they try to depict it with different colors of raga and the expression of the laya combinations, the way they structured this laya puzzle pieces. As I tell you, generally it's a puzzle game. As you assemble those pieces and then formulate it and then play it in different nadais and different things, it gets a different color altogether. So this is the fundamental concept of it. So now let's take the very basic example of Aadhi Thalam Rendikale. When you take the example of Aadhi Thalam Rendikale, let's dissect into two parts. As I told you, it's Purvangam, Uttarangam, and there is a connector. Let's work on understanding the concept. In Aadhi Thalam Rendikale, the dissecting will happen exactly midpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After 8, it's the dissection. So that's the Purvangam part, and the second part is the Uttarangam part. So if you want to make a Pallavi samam to samam, now let's take in the first speed. In the first speed, each syllable, each finger has got taka dimmi, taka junno, taka dimmi, taka janno, taka dimmi, taka janno. Each finger has got two aksharas. So we will lean on this example, two aksharas per beat. So if you take two aksharas per beat, for explanation purpose, it will be easier for you to understand. So 2 into 8 is 16 aksharas for the first half. The second part is again taka dhimmi, taka janno, taka dhimmi, taka janno. So it's again 16 plus 16. If you want to make a Pallavi from starting from samam and ending to samam, there should be a sort of a gap in between. So if I want to make tata kitta taka dinatam, tata kitta taka dinatam, tata kitta taka dina. If tata kitta taka dina, if I can find an appropriate word for that, for this tattagaram, for this konnakol equivalent, if I could find a word, that would be the Pallavi's first part. Me tam, tataka dinatam, tam, tataka dinatam, tatam, tataka dinatam. So this is the formation of the hidden words behind it, the X-ray of the Pallavi. Tang, tataka dinatam, thang, tataka dinatam, thang, tataka dina is the first part. The second half, there should be a gap. Assuming what is the remaining part is 16, and if you want to make a 10 later part of a Pallavi, you have to give a 6 gap, 6 aksharas gap. Takadimi, takajunu, takadim, tatadum, takitadum, tadikitatum, ta, tatakadinatam, tam, tatakadinatam, tam, tatakadinata. Takitadum, tadikitatum, ta. Here, the breakup of the Pallavi, the first half is 3, 5, and a 4 gap. 3, 5, and a 4 gap. 3, 5 makes it 16. The second half is 6 is a karvai. Taka taka dina. 6 is a karvai, that is a connector. And takita dom, tadikita dom. Takita dum, tadikita dum is the second half of the Pallavi, which is a 10 akshara. So a combination of 3, 2 and a 5. So it's important when you are playing a Pallavi to understand the main structure. Tang, tataka dinata, tang, tataka dinata, tang, tataka. If the person is singing like in this format, you cannot play tataka, tik tang, dam, tadam tang, dam, tik tang, you cannot play like that. It should be an equivalent phrase you should play. Then only it goes and sits and blends with the Pallavi. Otherwise, it will be a misnomer. You cannot play something else. So it's important, the rule of thumb again, whenever you're playing a concert, if you have somebody singing a Varnam, somebody is singing a Chittaswaram, somebody is singing a Thilana, somebody is singing a Pallavi, you should find out what they're singing. Because those are all compositions of variations which the composer had put into it. Unless you know about it, if Lalgudi is Tilana, unless you know and hear it before, it's difficult for you to play. Similarly, for somebody who has composed a Pallavi, even Lalgudi will find it difficult to accompany for that same. It's a fact, it's a matter of fact. Because the reason is, I have heard great Vidwans like Karagudi Mani sir, if you want to accompany Lalgudi, he will take the Pallavi, he will take the recording of the Pallavi, he will take the Varnam, how it has been coined, and then he will practice, and then he will come to the stage and make that a beauty by playing so much of variations. So, the important thing is a team effort on the stage rather than who is big or who is small. That's not the stage for anybody. If you want the right music to be projected right, you should have a perfect chemistry, and each one of the artists should know well what they're trying to do. So that's important. So the point, that the takeaway is the Pallavi design you should know. How is the format of the Pallavi? How? Takita tataka dinatam. Takita tataka dinatam. Takita tataka dinataka dimi taka takita dum. Tadinganato. Takita tataka din. Takita tataka dinat. Takita tataka dinatam. Takita tataka dinatam. Takita tataka dinata. Takita dum. Tatikita dum. Tadum. Tataka dinata. Dum. Tataka dinata. Dum. Tataka dinata. Takita dum. Tatikita dum. You should be able to play the exact match. And then within that scope, there are variations possible. Takita dum. Takita dum. Tatikita dum. You can play a higher speed of takita dum. Takita dum. Takita tataka dinatam. Takita tataka dinatam. Takita takita dum. Takita. You can use that space and play a higher version. Not an quite contradictory phrase you cannot play. So that's important. You have to play an appropriate phrase which can fit in. So this is the concept. The concept is rule number one, you should know what the Pallavi format is. You cannot play something different phrase what the other person sings. Then that will confuse the other person. Then you should note the karva in between. How the person is connecting, whether he is using a connector of a 5 akshara or a 6 akshara or a 7 akshara connector, and then the later part of it, how he has designed the later part of it with the phrase, which characteristics of Krishna I might have evaluated in a different way. So you might have to see the flow of it. Takita taka dimi, taka takita it can be. Takita dum, tadikita dum it can be. Tadimi, taka takita it can be. Tadikita dum, tadikita dum, tadikita dum it can be. So it's a lot of variations. The person, however, is depicted and viewed it. Tam, tatam, takatam, takitatam, takadinatam. It can be in a progressive manner. Like for example, Saravana Bhava, Guru Guha, Guha, Muruga, Guha. Like that, they can reduce the words. Accordingly, you need to know. If you look at the X-ray of it, if you see the words, takadinatam, takitatam, takatam, tatam, it will come like that. So you need to understand first the Pallavi formation. Now let's take an example of understanding it better with the space. As I taught you the Kaladam, Arayadam, Ukaladam. If you want to, somebody is singing a Pallavi in Rendikale Kaladam, say. Kaladam, when you say Kaladam, is takata do. That is the spacing you have. So what is the remaining part? It's literally one talli. When you are considering this in this speed, taka is actually one akshara. So you in out of 16, one is gone. So remaining 15 you need to form the first half. The second half is actually 17. 15 plus 17 makes it 32 because you have to come to that space. So for 15 you need to formulate a particular phrase. The later 17 can be a formulation of 2 carve, 2 plus 3 into 5. It can be a possible 2 plus 5 into 3. It can be a combination. Or you can give 7 carve and play a 10. Taka dimmi takita takita dum tadikita ta dum. That's the place you are going to get. Now for the 15, what you are going to do? Taka ta 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 dum. See how I have constructed this 3 5s is takadina plus 1, takadina plus 1, takadina plus 1. So 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1 is my combination. That's how I am structuring my Pallavi say. So for Kaladam, ta, 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 doom. Ta, kita, doom. Ta, dikita, doom. Ta, 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 din. Ta, ta, din. Ta, doom. Ta, kita, doom. The landing is the tha kicks and lands it. So that's how you might have Viseshama Pallavichirpa. Or this is 4 plus 1. Assuming I wanted to make a 2-3 combination. Takata, takita, ta, takita, ta, takita. So it can be a 2-3 combination. Or it can be 3-2 combination. Takita, ta. The Pallavi formation can be like this. The later half is what 15 is done, so you need to have another 17 to reach the 32 because it's for the Adam. So 15 plus 17 is 32. In the first example, we took 16 and 16 as a combination. The first 16 we played, then we gave a 6 carve, then we played another 10. So 16 plus 6 plus 10 makes it 32. In this case, we are making a phrase for 15 because it's Kaladam. So 15 plus 17, the 17 can be 7 plus 10 or it can be 2 plus 3 5s. Tam, takita, tam, takita, takata, takita, tam, takita, tam, takita, tam, tadikita, 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 ta, takita, tam, takita, tam, takita, tam, tadikita, tadikita, tadum. So that's a Kara. So this is an example of 3 different variations. Takadina 1, takadina 1, takadina 1 is 15. Tom, takita, tom, takita, tom, takita. 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 is again 15. Then you can make a combination of takita, dum, takita, dum, takita, dum, takita, dum. The Pallavi can be of this combination also. The second half, for the 17, you can make your own varieties. Like for example, 2 plus 3 into 5 can be a variety, 7 plus 10 can be a variety, 8 plus 9 can be a variety, or 9 plus 8 can be a variety. 9 plus 8, how it will be? Taka, dimmi, taka, tadam, tataka, din, tadum. So 9 you have to give a carve. Ta, ta, tataka, din, like that it will be. So this is the funda of formulating the Pallavi in the Laya form. A person can make so many different varieties of Pallavi, and you need to understand those Pallavi and then map it and then get the version of the Laya, and then you need to work on the first speed, second speed, third speed, and then you will have to do the different combinations, first to third speed, and you can do the Tisaram and all those aspects. As we move along, we'll get to know. But this is more an introductory class and a concept based. Understand all these things. Now let's take a consideration for Mukaladam. Mukaladam is what? You're taking 3 aksharas out. Takitta. Now out of 16, 3 is gone means, so the remaining is 13. You have to form a phrase for 13 aksharas. Takitta tam. Takitta tam. Takitta tam. That can be your Pallavi. Dun dun da tam. So 13 is done. Out of 32, 13 is gone. 32 minus 13 is remaining is 19. So for the 19, how well you can do? You can either give a 9 karvai and 10 phrase, or 4 karvai and 15. 5 into 3, 15. 15 plus 4 is 19. You can make this 19 suitably to your, or 1 karvai, 6 into 3, 18. It can be depending on the words you get for the Pallavi. The Pallavi back, the Uttarangam will change. So let's take a simple example of 19. We will say 9 karvai, and Takitadum Tadikitadum will probably tell you the place exactly. Takit, Takitatam, Takitatam, Takita, Takadimmi, Tadikita, Takitadum, Tadikita, Takitatam, Takitatam, Takitata. Takitatum, tadikitatum, takitatum, takitatum, takitatum. So this is what the vanilla of the base of how to form the first half, the connector, how much you have to give, and the later part, how much you have to give. The arithmetic for Mukaladam is 13 plus 19. The arithmetic for Arayadam in Aadhi Thalam is how much? It is 14 plus 18. Because 2 aksharas you are pushing, and then so 14 plus 18 will make it 32. In the for the Kaladam it is 15. 15 plus 17. 15 17, 14 18, and 13 19. If you look at that, it's gradually, it's Kaladam, Arayadam, Mukaladam. The first part changes, second part changes, and the appropriate changes are Purvangam when it is 15. How we are going to make the Uttarangam with a connector. What is the gap you are going to give? What is the filler you are going to give? Similarly for 14, if it's 18, how are we going to make that 18 with a connector and the filler? And then for the 13, what is the connector or the filler? This is the way, the Pallavi concept, the basic concept you need to understand. Next is, you have to tell all these in repeated speeds, multiple speeds. We will take it later in the subsequent classes. And I'll also demonstrate few Pallavi, I can, as part of level 6, RTP, some classic simple Pallavis, I can show you where people are explaining all those aspects so that you get much better idea. So this is the idea of the Pallavi. I will also take more examples as I tell you normally, as I handled for the special placements. I will also cover it for few other thalas in my next classes so that you get to know how we can really work on all these aspects. How to effectively go about it, and when you start listening Pallavi, you will be able to appreciate these ideas, and you can start very quickly to accompany a Pallavi. Cheers! I'll see you in the next class with more interesting concepts on RTP. I'll conclude this class with the Thirukkural. தெரிந்த இனத்தோடு சேர்ந்து எண்ணிச் செய்வார்க்கு அரும்பொருள் யாதொன்றும் இல். What is the meaning of it? ஒரு செயலை செய்வதற்கு முன் அறிவுடையவரோடு கலந்து ஆராய்ந்து செய்யின் அவர்க்கு பெறுதற்கரிய பொருள் யாதொன்றும் இல்லை. Before you get into the act, another great advice from Thiruvallur in this Thirukkural. Before you get into any specific act, you should get the advices from the elderly people, from wise people who already have some experience of doing certain things and being successful in life. So once when you get that, obviously you will also get the same results. That's for sure. 99 out of 100%, it's assured that you're going to get the best results out of it. So with this good thought, I'm concluding this class. I will see more RTP concepts in other thalas. I'll give you a glimpse of it, and then we will get into the Gumiki lessons as a follow-up session after these RTP workshops. Purvanar RVA signing off for now.